Hi everyone, welcome back. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys had an amazing month. Quite a journey this past month, but I feel like I'm a lot more comfortable with myself and I don't know, just doing things on my own. I just wanted to talk to you about some of my favorite things that I've been enjoying this past month. I'm gonna start off with some music. So my best friend Caitlin moved to Tennessee about 6 months ago to work on her EP, and it just came out this past month. There's 5 songs on it. It's only $5 on iTunes. You can also listen to it on Spotify as well, and I just wanted to say I'm so proud of her, and I'm so proud of this album. I bought it on iTunes, so every time I go in my car, automatically it turns on right away. I've played it for so many people as well. I played it for my friend Danielle just yesterday, and I was like singing along to it, and she's like, oh, that's cute, you're like singing along to your music and stuff. It's just because it's so freaking catchy and it's so good. I shared it with my sisters, my cousins. I'm just like really proud of her work. And I'm not just saying that she's talented because she's my best friend. I'm saying that because I genuinely believe that her music is amazing. It's been stuck in my head. I find myself like singing it like right when I wake up in the morning and playing it all day, and like especially on long drives too. My 2 favorite songs, I would say, when I told Caitlin, she was like, well, those are the more sad songs, but I don't really feel like it's that sad. It's like nostalgic in a sense, like very, I don't know, like 90s singer-songwriter. Obviously I grew up in the 90s and I listened to a lot of like, you know, like Sean Colvin and like that kind of stuff, and it kind of reminds me of that, but then Caitlin's voice is a bit more yodely in a sense, like a little bit more country. My 2 favorite songs is Common Swift and Into the Unknown, and they're both very melodic, like fun to sing along with. I don't think it's sad at all, but then again, the music that I think is not sad, other people think are very sad, like The Cure. I love The Cure, and I had never thought of them as like a sad band or anything like that, but apparently they are. It would mean so much to me if you would show her some support and buy her album on iTunes. It's only $5, but if you want to also give it a listen on Spotify, it's up there as well. Besides that, this past month I went to Seattle and Portland and I bought a boatload of records. I've been buying a lot of records lately too because I've been listening to a lot of music. I've been having a lot of downtime, and whenever there's no music on, I feel kind of like stagnant in a sense, like there's no movement in my life, and it's really hard to like get up and like do things, so I always try to have music on. And although I've been buying a lot of new music and listening to those things, I've found that I keep going back to things that I'm familiar with, like very nostalgic in a sense, like coming of age music, like Interpol and The Cure, things that I grew up on. But anyway, my sisters and I, and my cousin Amy, we went to go see a show at the Greek Theater the other day. So the week before that, I've been listening to a lot of Air, which is this band that my sister introduced me to when I was in high school, and I just fell completely in love with them. I think the first album that she introduced me to was Talkie Walkie, which is the one album I don't have here. Out of all the Air albums, I would have to say that Talkie Walkie is probably my favorite album. Though I don't have it here, that sucks. But Moon Safari is my second favorite, and I've been listening to this a lot as well. I think the most popular Air song is Sexy Boy, and it's on this album. I know that sounds so cheesy, but their music is kind of cheesy in a sense. Yeah, if you've never heard of Air before, they're French guys. They're a little bit cheesy. They sing in English mostly. Virgin Suicide soundtrack. If you're a film student, I think that's a great place to start. Just watch the film, Virgin Suicides, and then listen to this album. Playground Love, the song Playground Love. I think the guy from Phoenix sang in that song, which I think is pretty cool, if that's true. Pocket Symphony is also amazing as well, and I really like this record because it's on white vinyl, which is really special in my opinion. I know it's like so stupid to say because it doesn't really matter what color the vinyl is, it's the music, right? And then there's Premier Symptoms. I think that's how you pronounce it. This one I haven't really listened to that much, to be quite honest. It's not my favorite of all of them. I would say if you were to start from the beginning, I would say start where I started. Listen to Talkie Walkie, and then in that order that I just showed you. For a YouTube favorite, this is so exciting. My friend Chris, who I interviewed in one of my brief conversation videos in the past like couple months actually, he has an Instagram called Ghost Photo. He just started a YouTube about photography, because that's what he is, he's a photographer, and it's called The Photo Department. And I'm so proud of him because oftentimes, and I hate to say this, but oftentimes whenever I watch other people on YouTube who talk about cameras, like I do a lot of research on like different types of cameras, and I don't know much about cameras. I'm very much a beginner, so I get really intimidated by other people when they talk about cameras. There's things that I just don't understand, and I love that Chris is able to break things down and make it very like easy for someone like me as a beginner, you know, who didn't really take a class in film or in film photography. So he makes it so easy for me to understand and just very personable in a sense. He's really smart, but not like super scary and techie. So even someone like me, I can understand what he's talking about. And yeah, he gives like suggestions on his favorite cameras, where to start when you're buying film cameras. So I'll leave a link in the description box to his channel, and I think everyone should go over there and subscribe to him because I can tell he's been working really hard on it, like making videos consistently, which I really appreciate. So yeah, show him some love and support. For an Instagram favorite, I'm gonna have to say my friend Catherine Bui has such a phenomenal Instagram. I've known her for years. I've known her for at least like 7-8 years, or something like that. She used to have her own art magazine called Title, which was like a pretty big deal. And I had no idea that was her. And she's always had such an artistic eye. And then ever since I joined Instagram, like, I don't know, forever ago, I noticed that all her photos are very well thought out. Everything's shot with so much intention. You know how like, for me, I'm a beginner, so whenever I pull out my camera, I kind of just shoot here and there, and like, nothing's really well thought out, you know? But with her, even if a photo isn't shot on film, like if it's just shot on her phone, you can still tell that it's shot with so much thought. So I find that really inspiring. She used to work at Visco. She has a very creative, artistic eye. And then I think right now she's working on like web development. For a book favorite, I know that in my last video, I talked about The Mighty Salad. It's been so hot, okay? It's been like 100 degrees here in Northeast LA. I've been eating a lot of salads and eating a lot of like easier things to prep, so I have to talk about this. This is salad for president. I don't just cook salads. I mean, I don't just prep salads. I swear to God, I make other things too. But this really caught my eye because, I mean, the cover itself was just so beautiful. It's like an artsy, like salad display. Whereas like the book that I recommended last month with The Mighty Salad, it's a bit more like kinfolk. Like if Mumford and Sons were to get together and make a salad, it would be like a hearty salad, that's the book for you. But if, in this case, like if you're looking at this book, I feel like it's something that Solange would pick up and make a salad from. It's like very artsy, very beautiful. You can see just about every ingredient and the layout is beautiful. Even the font and the way they like list the ingredients and then how to prep everything. The colors that they use are beautiful, yes, but then also the way they lay it out, the font that they use. I just think this book is so beautiful. It's brought me so much joy. So I really hope that you guys can find a copy somewhere and like flip through the pages and like find joy from it too. I think it's great that you can add an element of play into your food, something that you eat 3 times a day or even more. So yeah, I just find it really exciting, especially if you're starting to learn how to cook. This next thing I actually got like a couple months ago. This is a cobalt blue mug from Hasami. I didn't realize, but I've been reaching for this, and I have 3 of these. I have like one in a grayish color, one in like a tannish color, but I've been reaching for this every day because I think the color is so beautiful and it just makes me happy. So I've been reaching for it. Although I have like a boatload of mugs, I've been reaching for this so much, and I think it's the perfect size. I make tea every morning. What I do is I just like put a tea bag in there and I put this on the top and let it steep for a while, and then once it's done, I'll move this underneath, and then it works as a coaster as well. This little thing right here, this one's wood, but you can get the coaster that matches this perfectly. I got that mug from my friend Karel's shop called County Limited, and he actually just had a sale, or an apartment sale, in his house like this past weekend, which I helped out for a couple days. But I found this, and this has made me so happy. So this is so stupid, but it brings me so much joy. So he had this Robert Maxwell critter. It's this little like ceramic piece. It's like a little face, and people collect these. Like they're all over eBay and Etsy, and I've been tracking them down. I've never had any luck thrifting them, although like all my friends find them in thrift stores all the time. I'm kind of tall. It says Robert Maxwell on the bottom right here, but you can use it for different things. People normally just use it as a display thing, or put matches in it, or Q-tips, or toothpicks, but I have salt in here. It's funny because I'm trying to be more like minimalist and like get rid of things, but whenever I see things like that, like this Robert Maxwell thing, I just like die, and I get so excited about it. So yeah, I didn't realize something so small can bring so much joy. My friend Kwa actually collects them, and he has a ton of them. Like, I think he has like over 50 of them, like little critters like these. I want to shoot a video about him talking about it because I'm pretty sure he's the guy who made everyone like super excited about these Robert Maxwell critter things and like totally jacked up the price on eBay. But he's got a boatload, and I don't know, every time I see him I just get so happy. So I can't believe I finally have one and I get to use it. It actually serves a purpose because it holds my salt. So I've been having a lot of luck while thrifting lately. Well, I've been looking for this for quite some time because Lauren has it in her apartment and I thought it was the cutest thing. It's a glass donut basically. So I've been on the hunt for this for a while. Couldn't find it anywhere. And then I walked into this thrift store in Seattle and right away I saw it and I beelined straight to it and grabbed it. So I'm really excited about this. I think it's like the cutest thing. It's just, yeah, such a simple glass donut. I've been waiting for this for a couple of years now because I put in some money for this like Kickstarter on filled cast iron skillets. If you guys are familiar with cast iron skillets, there's this brand called Lodge and they make like so many cast iron skillets, but it's kind of like pebbly on the inside, and I don't know, I always thought that cast iron skillets over time, if you use them a lot, then they'll start to smooth out and feel like glass. But then I realized that that's just not how they're made anymore. This company, Field Cast Iron, what they did was they dedicated their time to making a cast iron skillet that will be as smooth as glass, like as smooth as how cast iron skillets used to be made back in the day. So I mean, during the past like few years, I've spent so much money investing money in cast iron skillets that are just vintage, just because they don't make them like that anymore. And then this company came out and they made a promise to make cast iron skillets the way things were made. So they're kind of like reintroducing the classic American cast iron. This is like super glassy. It's just, I don't know if you can see it, but like the true test is an egg test. So when you crack an egg into it, it should slide around, right? After you season it really well. So this surface is so smooth that it's basically non-stick. I'm just in love with it. It's been making me so happy. So I just thought I'd add that into my monthly favorites, even though I haven't been using it all month. My friend Yoon, I went out to lunch with him or coffee with him like a couple months ago, and he brought this camera out. This is the Yashica Electro 35 GTN. He actually had the one with the silver body, and he calls it the Spider-Man camera, so cheesy, but apparently Spider-Man carried this camera in one of the movies. Right when I saw it, I was just like, this is such an interesting looking camera. There's not that many dials, not that many crazy things on it. It's so straightforward, and it shows you if you're overexposed or underexposed, like it'll light up. There's an easy battery check. It's just such an easy, user-friendly 35mm camera. I started doing research on it, and then he sent me a link to buy one on eBay, so then I bought it, and I'm completely in love with it. I just got my first roll of film back from it because I took it to Portland and Seattle and took some photos. So I've never had a rangefinder before, so I had no concepts of how to use one. But basically what you do is you align two photos together so it focuses, whereas a normal DSLR, you really just have to make it not blurry. Super simple. I think it's such a good beginner's camera. Really good for someone like me because I don't really know that much about cameras. The only thing I would say though is that it's a little bit fussy in that you have to find the correct battery adapter. But I'll try to link as much information as I can in the description box down below. They don't make the battery for this camera anymore, so there's different ways to kind of adapt to that. There's actually a lot of videos out there too that show you how to do it. That's hands down my favorite camera right now. My favorite candle of the moment is Petals for Love. I don't know if you can see, but on the inside or on the top of the candle, there's a bunch of flower petals, and they're actually local. They're actually from here, like right behind my backyard in Eagle Rock, so totally local. The scent I have is Supermoon, which is jasmine, star anise, cherry, almond, and sweet almond. And there's something about the scent that's very nostalgic. Like every time I smell it, I feel like I'm a kid again. You know, it must be like a lotion that I used to wear when I was a kid, but something about it just smells like home to me. Moving on to makeup and skincare, I'm gonna talk about this Tata Harper hand cream first. This is the Rejuvenating hand cream. I'm gonna put a little bit on. It smells so good, and I keep this in my bag. It's a bright green bottle, obviously, so you can find it right away. It's a lotion, but it's more of a milky, a little bit watery lotion, and it sinks right in. It's natural, not tested on animals. If you know anything about Tata Harper, she's like a really rad lady. She has this farm, I believe in Vermont, and much of the ingredients that are sourced for her for her things are from that farm. I know that a lot of people are trying to switch away from like not using any chemicals. So if you're on that track, then definitely check this out because it's non-toxic, it's 100% natural. For eyebrows, not today, but like since I've been like really lazy about wearing makeup every day, I just want to make sure that my eyebrows are in place. So I've been using this. This is the Mr. Brow Groom from Givenchy. It's like really fancy, and the brush kind of angles up a little bit, so you can get really precise in there and like really comb the brows out. And the reason why I like this so much is because it doesn't really make your brows crispy or anything like that. It'll comb it in place and make it stay. It'll make even like my brows that are really light in color, it'll make it kind of like stick up and like really look prominent. I really like the brush on this. The only thing that I would change about this packaging is that I would make it a solid silver just so that you don't see the liquid on the inside, just because sometimes whenever I do use, you know, colored brow products and it transfers into the bottle, it makes it look kind of foggy. So I'm not really into that. I don't know, there's something about that that just makes me cringe. But besides that, the product is really good. It's a really nice gel for your brows. I've been waiting so long for this to come out. So I found out about this sometime last year when I went to a Lancôme event, and I've been using the Juicy Shaker, just the original one with a silver cap, for quite some time. I bought 3 of the exact same shade because I lost 2 of them and then one of them broke in my bag. And they said it would come out in April of 2017. So I waited and waited and waited, and I didn't finally get a hold of it until I think around May. The color I have is called, I think it's called My Cherie, no, Kiss Me Cherie. It's a really nice matte red, but comfortable. It's not transfer resistant, so if you kiss your hand or drink from a cup or whatever, you'll see transfer on it. But I think it's perfect for summer because you can actually really layer it up and make it really bold, or do what I do where I just dab it right in the center and kind of smudge it around. And then sometimes I'll even use the residual on my finger and then put it on my cheeks. There's so much pigment in there that it really just like spreads everything out and looks very natural. So yeah, I've been using this a ton, and I think the packaging is really beautiful as well. So I love whipping this out and then applying it. I waited so long to finally get my hands on one of these, and now that I finally have one, it's so worth the wait. So for my skincare, one thing that I found pretty recently, I found out through following this girl on Instagram. Her name's Kelly. She works for Glossier, and I saw her do this in one of her Instagram videos, and it just blew my mind. But what she did is she took the stretch concealer and then mixed it with the Haloscope in the color Quartz, and mixed it together, and then just applied it on her under eyes. And apparently it just really brightens up your skin and makes you look a lot more awake. So then I tried that, and it's exactly like Touche Éclat. It's like so much better than Touche Éclat actually, because it really just melts in there and it doesn't just sit on the surface. It looks like your skin, but just brighter and more awake. So I've been loving this combination. Definitely try it out if you guys have these 2 products. Foundation, I haven't been using that much foundation lately because I've been getting a little bit darker. I've been out in the sun a lot more. So whenever I do reach for a foundation, it's usually something very sheer. So I've been loving this Dr. Jart. This is the Dr. Jart Air Mesh Broad Spectrum SPF 30, which is great for summer. I never use this little sponge thing in there, so I always like just keep it on my finger like that. And then the mesh on the inside though is super cool. It's not like a cushion, so it doesn't like flip through or anything like that. It's just a little piece of mesh that's like filled with foundation. So what I do is I use either a brush, like a very dense brush, or a beauty blender. It's such a sheer formula, like weightless in a sense. And even though my skin's really hard to match right now because I've been going out in the sun and stuff, it will blend right in, and it's BB cream, so it really just like kind of corrects itself to match your skin tone. And since my foundations haven't been matching, and I have a slew of foundations because I mean I love foundation, because they haven't been matching so well, I've been putting bronzer everywhere just to kind of I don't know, just kind of warm up my face a little bit, and then also to like make my foundation look more natural. So I've been using this bronzer from Hourglass. It's such a beautiful package, but this is the Nude Bronze Light. And there's no shimmer in it, so it just looks very natural. It's very subtle because it looks almost like my skin color right here, but it's just a little bit darker than my skin tone. Just like a very natural looking finish once your oils blend with it and everything. So I've been reaching for this a lot, and I think it's such a great trick because my foundations haven't been matching, so this is a really nice loophole. Yeah, so that's everything in this month's favorites. It's been a long month, but it's been good. So if you guys have any questions, please leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'll have all the links to everything in the description box down below. And yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye!